and welcome to episode 43 of the First Circuit podcast. This is EtherMech.
Back from the grave.
Definitely back from the grave.
Back from the workplace. Also grave.
We have Larsh.
Hi.
Old Bob 10025.
Hey.
And we have Byter.
Hey.
I think we have quite a few things to talk about for this week, since it seems like this game always likes to shove new things at us for content. But I think for today, we're going to be going over the patch notes, some rehash of the Flea that comes out whenever this video is posted. This is probably going to be tomorrow on Tuesday. The ongoing events and how they have gone or how they're progressing, and maybe just a short blurb on how the Harmony Gold versus PGI thing is still a thing.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, patch notes. Where should we begin on the patch notes? Cause we got a shit ton.
Actually, I'm kind of surprised they did the patch notes so early, which is interesting because normally they do it like Friday, or Friday like right after our podcast, like what we normally used to do, and now they actually have it. They had it out on Tuesday, right, or something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty early. That was the 13th. With that they released it, which would have been Wednesday. So that was like 2 days ahead of time from the usual schedule.
Well, PGI, yeah. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was at work when this dropped, and I was surprised when it hit. But hey, I'm glad to get items on the new mech early this time. It's kind of nice.
I'd say it does benefit them releasing the patch notes early, since a lot of this stuff is always kind of stuff that they, in the roadmaps have announced that they're bringing forward, and this gives them as much time. A much longer window to get feedback on anything that the community might be upset about or wish changed or whatever.
Yeah, you mean open the floodgates for salt and whining?
Yep, there's already 146 comments.
Well, I haven't even gone through the comments. I'll go over that after this podcast. Side note, did you guys vote on the 8v8 item on the polling?
Yep.
Yeah?
I voted. I'm not going to tell you what I voted for, but I voted.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't even checked. Oh, wait, actually, that's actually in the patch notes. There's a link to it.
Yep.
Wow, it's split.
Yeah, split.
Yes is at 47.69. No is at 48.34. So no is just eking out. And then there's these nihilist maybes who are just like, I don't care at 3.97.
Let me explain in the thread. It's like, well, your vote doesn't count now, basically. It's like, okay. And I think they probably did it on purpose, though, to get, basically most of the votes from either side pop down there. It's like, well, your vote doesn't count, so what the hell? It doesn't matter if you put your comments in the forums, vote yes or no, end of story, and then put your comments down below.
Yeah.
Well, let's face it, it's PGI's fault for giving people a maybe option.
Yes. Yeah, they should have left the maybe out. But I think because the poll was so close, we're not going to see any 8v8 anytime soon.
I highly doubt it, though. Like I was going to comment, too, is that the patch notes being out, the roadmap being out, they probably finished Mechwarrior 5, and they're just, hashing out the bugs and everything else now. So it's already done, and that's why they have so much time on their hands right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think mostly it's Paul being bored.
Or Paul being bored. Well, I think it's Tina that actually makes the patch notes too, right? Yep.
It might
Tina.
be. Is it?
Yep. It's by Tina, yep.
Okay.
Or she probably just announces it, says, hey, here you go, here's the patch notes.
Here's the thing. So, but yeah, so there's that. So what is the first thing on the page here is going down on the patch notes?
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
So I guess this is one of the first things it covers, but as we mentioned, Lisa, yep, they're releasing the patch notes early, gives more time for people to comment on the things that are going to be coming live shortly, and gives the team some time to actually possibly adjust or whatever if there's any, without rushing on it on Monday, which I think might have been the problem they did before.
Good point.
True.
They also, as we mentioned, they give the link to the vote for 8v8 play. They also have a link to discussions about weapon balance that have been going on. Has you guys seen that?
Oh yes.
Balance design,
was
That
that
is an
large
epic
amount
mess.
of large clan laser vomit is one of the overperformers of the game, and they're saying, oh, we're looking to change clan Gorse, clan lasers to address this and bring it back into line with the other weapon systems. And of course, they gave the community opportunity to give their feedback, which means everyone could talk about how they want the game to be balanced.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate what they're trying to do and getting the player base to make some changes for what they like, but I kind of wish they would just own up to the game and say, hey, we're going to nerf clan lasers because balance. But I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the clan laser vomit is a bigger deal than what it is, or if it's just
So when they announced the changes to heavy lasers and lasers, the previous patch, all of that made sense.
Yeah.
The fact that they waffled on it and backed down because the community showed a little backbone against them, it just means that they're never going to get any changes through that the community doesn't agree to, which means nothing in the game's ever going to change anymore.
Well, they basically just need to own up to their game and say, okay, here's the game. I'm sorry if you don't like this. If you don't, go play, Hello Kitty Island Adventures. It's over there. This is a game for Mechwarrior. This is a game that let's say Russ spent millions of dollars on trying to go build and everything, build his game and design his game for what it is. Yeah, you're going to lose some people. That's part of business. That's what happens. And a lot of people have some good ideas. Don't get me wrong, but pick and choose your ideas, what you're going to be taken from the community. And then everyone's bitching that you didn't take my idea. It's the best thing in the world. It's like, you don't know what's going on back in the background of how they're developing this, how they're developing the game itself. And so they can only pick certain things and work on those things.
Well, and I think part of their issue for the balancing is they're going one piece at a time, but they're not looking at what's enabling the miscellaneous pieces to work. If they would just burn the bridges and get rid of cool shots, that would solve a lot of the problems because you wouldn't have the emergency instances.
God, man.
If you just get rid of all the airstrikes, you wouldn't have people bitching and moaning about the strikes all the goddamn time. Then it would come down to just what the weapons are doing, and then you'd have all the data you'd ever need to figure out what the actual balance of the game looks like.
Yeah, I mean, in our little sphere, I've obviously been arguing for this mana potion, cool shots, being a huge change to how the game is balanced and changing all the heat mechanics. But at least in the forums, if you read through all the comments people were talking about, a lot still focusing on just, a whole bunch of ideas. I see people talking about, oh, we need to have it just clan versus IS, and it's like, what was it, 6 clan versus 8 IS? A star versus a lance.
No, 2 stars versus the company.
2 stars versus the company, that kind of stuff.
So like 10v12.
Mm-hmm.
And there's loads of other huge radical changes, and people saying, oh, well, what about all these other suggestions to all the weapon systems, etc., etc. And
just flush cool shot.
Yeah, as I did make my comment there, at least, not much response from the community on there, but I did say, if you ask me, the fundamental rot is cool shots. And I'm hopefully we can slowly get people to sort of warm up to this idea. But to speak in PGI's defense, though, in regards to you guys saying, let's just go through the changes that they feel that they want to do, say, screw the community, go off and play, was it Hello Kitty games or whatever?
No, it's not screw the community. It's just, you can only take so much, so much stuff from the community, and they can't implement everything that everyone wants. And so they do the best they can of what they have, but it is their game, the type of thing.
I'm just saying, at least in their defense, it's a big thing is always about PR. And my complaint about PGI has been that they have not been very good with PR. That the stuff like the ghost heat changes to heavy larges and mediums just suddenly came out of the blue.
Yeah.
And that's where you get your huge community backlash, and the community's like, whoa, where did this come from? And lots of people really upset about the sudden nerf. Whereas if you want the community somewhat to stick around, you need to be able to play nice with them, and got to make them, you got to pet them and make them feel okay about what's going to come.
Or
if you
PGI could get off their ass and work on some marketing.
Oh,
Something like that, yeah.
That'd help too.
Some YouTube commercials would really do the game some good.
We've tried, Atha. We've tried.
Yeah, we've tried.
So with PGI, they've been, they said internally they've been discussing AP8 for a lot of time. Well, what you need to do is do these votes, these polls, gives people a chance to chat about it and wring their hands about it and have the community discuss these ideas more actively. So, I should say at least I would give a thumbs up for them to actually reaching out to the community and starting these discussions and poking people in the patch notes to these discussions.
For trying to proactively engage instead of putting out the fires they start.
No, basically, I don't mind that. Basically, asking community for stuff like that, that's fine. That's perfectly okay, and that's any type of business. But the problem you do see is the community themselves. If they don't take one person's suggestion that they think it's better to slice bread, they start crying on the forums and then start saying, I'm quitting like MWO, screw you guys, type thing. It's gonna happen, and PGI just needs to put it out, say, hey, we're probably gonna be doing this. That's fine, but even if the whole community says, hey, we want to do it this way, and they still change it, that's still their game to go and do. Yeah, the PR is bad though. Don't get me wrong. PGI has no PR, but the problem you can't take every suggestion from the community themselves. They have to own up to their own game.
Well, maybe it's time to open up their test servers again.
That might be a good idea too. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I really like the Energy Raw system, but for some reason everyone else was so against it. It worked smooth, god damn it.
Well, it goes against the whole alpha build, Alpha Strike, super meta, tryhard guys.
Yeah, well.
Somewhat. I mean, the issue, at least with implementing systems like with the Flame or whatever, is there's lots of hidden numbers under the hood. It's not as simple rudimentary as just, I click with the medium laser, it fires for 0.9 seconds and it recycles 3.4 seconds. I can tell that to someone, and after enough explaining, they'll understand it. Whereas with the heat draw system, I got the impression, at least if you're firing a whole bunch of different weapons and firing them quickly, etc., it's a bit hard in your head to really model and tell people how it all balances out.
True.
Yeah.
In my mind, at least, it's I don't think, other than maybe Gore's PPC ghost heat, a lot of the ghost heats don't necessarily matter too much, because a huge number of weapons should just be ridiculously hot and mean you get pushed down easily. But there's two consumables called cool shots in the game, and there's strikes in the game that soften people up and everything else that mean that these Alpha Strike builds or whatever do become, troublesome.
Well, like last night I was playing, and for the first time in a month or two, I finally played Terra Therma. You should have heard the crying. Oh my God, there was so much crying, like on chat. I thought I was in preschool or something. It was bad.
Weird. Because, I usually get people to play hot maps almost all the time.
Dude, I love hot maps.
And we don't see that much assault, but sometimes it's like, why do people vote for it? And we say, we like hot maps.
Because it's a test of skill.
Hot maps are best maps.
Yeah.
You either go, fuck it, and overcommit and see what happens, or you sit back and poke and then someone gets screwed.
True.
Yeah, I'd like the increased TTK when you've got hot maps and whatnot. There's a much more of a game to be played with a heat bar rather than just, firing and killing everything in front of you before you even really, start having to worry about your heat. There's a bit more strategy and tactics at play.
Yeah.
It's great. But
so what we got so far?
Yeah, anyway, they've posted that stuff up there as ever, at least with the community. They're going to pull it all different directions, and I think they just don't. Nobody points to the direct cause. Get rid of the cool shots. Moving on, though, shall we? To big feature: builds, profile saving and sharing.
Yes, they finally listened to our cries.
Oh God, this is so.
But they finally implemented it. Yes.
Yeah.
And it looks like it saves everything except for your cosmetic items.
That's fine.
That's fine.
I don't care about that.
I'm cool with that. I mean, cockpit items be damned, whatever. That's fine. As it's just nice now that if old Bob or Byter or you, if you have a build and say, hey, your build might benefit from this, and then you can export it and then give it my way, and then I can just build it right away.
So what does it?
I like sending you a dozen photos.
Yeah, I know. So like, does it actually go ahead and overlap your build, like when you put, when you put this over it, something like that?
I don't know yet, because they've only really given us a screenshot and say that we can now save our loadouts, but they really haven't given us a lot of explanation of how it's going to function just yet.
Yeah. We have not much in the way of ideas of exactly how it works. My thinking is, we see the buttons are export, import, save, and load. Now, when you click save, does that bring up a menu, or does that just, like they say, it brings up a hash? So like, you get a whole bunch of, let's just say for the simple sake of argument, ones and zeros, you get 101. But what does the load button do? Because what hopefully you can do is you save and it just puts a hash to the side. Hopefully you can name the hash, but they haven't said anything like that. Like,
well, the interesting thing is that, just reading up here is that it says the save load deal. Oh, sorry, deal. It says deal. Anyway, the save load deal with files stored on your PC. I think they may have worded that a little weirdly, but it seems like that you save the loadouts to your PC. So I don't know if that could be unlimited, and then you could maybe name your loadouts on your PC, because it says that.
Yeah, save and load goes straight to your hard drive, and therefore somehow you've got a list of previous builds. When you press the load. Whereas import and export, it creates that hash string, which goes to your clipboard. So it's a copy and paste basically. So you click export, and now you've got a hash in your clipboard, and you can paste that into Discord or wherever.
I like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
makes
very
sense.
cool.
Huh.
I'm a bit confused about how. See, when you press import, a text box appears, and then you take it from Discord or wherever. You take the string, you post it in there, and you click a button like generate or something. And what it will do is, my imagining with this game systems is it will just draw any items from your inventory and put it into the slots, where it's supposed to be.
Yep.
If you don't own the thing, it will, just like how you get a thing from a store, if you don't own it, it just puts the thing in there anyway, but now you have to pay C-bills.
I think that's probably how it's going to go.
Yeah. That's how I think it's going to go. It now costs C-bills, and you have to, you'll click save to, actually finalize that choice and spend all those C-bills.
Yeah. I wonder whose account this is, has 1 million MC.
I think they have like a test account.
It's a test service account.
Yeah.
Jesus. But yeah, actually, it's a good idea, and I mean, this is just everyone's waiting for this kind of thing, because it's just a pain in the ass to go and like we said before, to post like 10 pictures of here's my build, here's my skill tree.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a pretty short blurb, but I enjoy that this is happening now, because since I constantly change my builds, or on the off chance that I finally do a stream again, if I have people in the stream who are always in the mech lab, this might save us time.
Yeah, and it's not just the equipment, but also skill nodes. And I'm not sure, like you can't differentiate skill tree and equipment nodes. So like if I share someone a build, I'm sharing them the equipment I put in and the skill tree I've equipped.
So if you go down to the next image down where it shows the skill tree, it has a skill tree profile as well.
Yeah, it's separate.
I see. Yeah.
So I imagine they'll have a separate file for your skill trees than from your actual loadouts. Or at least that's the way it kind of looks.
Yeah, it says, both systems will not allow you to save apply changes you made to your personal mech. Okay, yeah. But I got, it seems like, so if you're saving to your PC, you have 2 different files, I would assume. One for your build, one for your skill tree.
Yep.
And for the builds, it's mech specific.
Yes.
Which might be a slight problem if you got like, I wonder how, knowing PGI, it's sort of like, okay, I built my Hellbringer build on the Hellbringer C, and that guy's got the Hellbringer Prime. Will it be able to switch out
Oh, yeah, because of
the
omnipods.
omnipods?
Well, auto omnipod. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, for
I hope they fix that.
yeah, because for IS mechs, not a problem. I mean, but
Well,
clans might have some
unless you're
difficulty.
me.
There are
Is that-
sometimes IS mechs that you could do the same build on something else, but the system might not work for it, which would be a nuisance.
Well, there's a lot of speculation, but we'll probably see come Tuesday.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see how terrible or great it is.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how it interfaces with my like 12 K2s.
You have 12 K2s.
Yeah,
Why?
because I have an independent build on each of them.
Oh, God.
Well, then
now
this,
when I can sell them, you can have I have them all set up now.
yeah. If this whole system works, you could then sell them off and get all your C-bills back.
Do bunch of quick swapping.
Yep,
I would.
I would do that.
Well, like as soon as I got Larsh's Nova, I dumped my other like Nova, and now I'm just using that one.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I turned Larsh's Nova into the all-purpose Nova, and I kept my silly triple laser AMS Nova with a single small laser
Oh, that
and
one.
like 33 heat sinks.
But yeah, this ultimately though, this is much better than taking screenshots, particularly like with the skill tree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool deal.
Yeah.
Right, moving on. Oh, Bob, I think you have something to mention about the bolt-ons.
I'm gonna be happy about this bolt-on. I'm gonna put this on my fire starter. It's be really cool. Have a little propane tank, and one shot, one point of damage. Someone actually hits me, it's gonna blow right off, but still, it'd be kind of fun, exciting. Put it on my fire starter.
Old Bob, to some degree, it would be funny if I mean, it costs a ridiculous amount of money, but
Yeah.
every time you take cool shots, you should put on a propane tank. If anyone shoots off your propane tank, you're not allowed to press the cool shot button. That's how you how you balance cool shots in your mind.
It was with the bolt-ons.
See, the problem is though, like I'll be hit by airstrikes and fireballs, so it'll just come off instantly. So I wouldn't have anything.
And how is someone
anyways.
supposed to know the bolt on is still on other than switching to third person before popping
Hey,
a cool
you
shot?
never know.
Which is very particular, or you have to ask in all chat, just sort of, hey guys, have I still got my bolt on?
Maybe they'll put on a like bitching Betty thing. It'll just be like bolt-on, just like something or other,
Oh, Bob, your propane tank is gone. You can't use mana potions.
Extra fuel supply missing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or also the horrible chance that a person puts a hole into the bolt-on and then the whole thing just explodes.
If you mount it to your cockpit, does it do head damage?
Yeah, it's just a bolt-on. It's supposed to be there for nothing. Anyways,
I like
it's just
it.
fun. Yeah, it's just fun to have on a fire starter. I'm gonna definitely get it.
Yeah. All right, then comp play. Hello, comp play.
Yay,
It's
stock
fairly,
mode.
Yeah, it's the same stuff we've covered before. Stock modes, 1339 tech mechs. All the other bits and pieces still got quirks and consumables and skills. So we really don't know how this will play out.
3 mechs per weight class. No duplicate chassis mechs. So that's gonna be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah,
like,
they
in
can't
comp
just do a lance of the same thing.
play. That's gonna be hard for people that just know how to do alpha strikes.
Well, you know what? This is called a competitive play.
Yeah.
You got to make it a little bit harder if you want to make it like, hey, if you are the best Mechwarrior pilot in the game, then you should be able to handle this.
The first couple of weeks are going to be super sloppy. It's
I
almost
can't-
be worth
I
watching.
can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, no, same here.
They also
Yep.
changed one of the days for when the comp play stuff is going to be going on from
Yeah,
Sunday to Saturday.
Saturdays.
Yeah, so comp play is only accessible on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Yes. All right, so moving along, we got just a quick map change on Rubelite Oasis on Conquest mode. So they've moved a few of the points, I believe, correct? Is that what they did?
Yeah,
Yes.
they
Yeah,
centered
yeah.
data more into the physical center of the map instead of the center of the ditch next to the crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Epsilon has moved further to the west side. Kappa has moved a little north of where it used to sit. then Sigma has gone south, and Gamma has gone north.
Yeah.
Because on the old one, it was Theta was really hard to go take because the other team, like one team had the advantage, like over the Overwatch over Theta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but as long as you had something small like a 35-ton mech, you could go and get into it pretty quick before they could get you off of it.
Yeah,
the bigger
true.
thing is scattered where the lances spawn now. On the north side, they've spread them out more along the entire upper ridge instead of being clustered down by Gamma.
Yeah.
And then on the south side, they've scattered the light lance to the west side and put the heavies in the kind of the bottom center.
In general, the basic points is like the points have sort of spread out a bit, maybe a little bit more cover for them to be taken.
Yeah.
We'll have to really wait and see how it plays out. Though, to my mind, to some degree, the map was already kind of big and took a while to traverse. And with the really fast stock mechs that we're going to be playing competitive, having to go extra distances to get those cap points means that's going to change a lot of how Rubelite Oasis is going to play.
More polar islands.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I can't wait.
I think it's a good change to a good hot map.
What do you guys think about the change in Grim with the with like domination?
I like it.
Oh yeah, that. I think they've done good.
Yeah, I actually think they've done good too.
I haven't had any complaints or problems with Grim, and especially since they actually fixed the problem where people's games would crash.
The coding bug.
Yeah,
Well, not that,
coding
but
bug.
the placement of the domination circle.
Well, that too, yeah. I'm just saying, like,
I did have
overall,
a match.
it's been good.
I did have a match where a whole bunch of people disconnected on Viridian Bog, kind of like
Wow.
what people described on Grim. So,
Oh.
that little bugbear might be, returning here and there. Who
Yeah.
knows?
That's weird.
But yeah, the thing with Grimplex's domination before was it was whichever team pushed more aggressively, because obviously the circle was in the big giant crater, and really it was that the hill, the one with the buildings on top, that
Yeah, the Battle of the Hill.
you had to push off that hill or push and stop them from getting off it. And it was a fight for that. But the thing was, at least when you're playing with pugs, it's really hard necessarily to rely on them being courageous, and it's really, really tough pushing on your own, particularly if you're the one on the hill. And that meant one side typically had quite a strong advantage. Now with it, the cap point actually being around the hill, all the pugs can feel happy walking up to the hill without having to feel like they're being super aggressive, and then they can dance around the hill, and it's I'm much
NASCAR around
happier
the
about.
place.
Yeah, it's a safer approach for the pugs, and they feel happier about actually playing correctly.
I'm just imagining just like a bunch of mechs just dancing around a maypole.
Yep.
Jeez.
That is
Okay,
how
so-
people kind of play.
Yeah.
So it's an improvement on average.
Yeah, I'm just a little grumpy that the circle's no longer a suggestion. Because that's all it was. Domination on Grimplex, the circle was oh yeah, by the way, you have to go stand in there after you kill everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's relatively small to the overall map. Like in HBG, it covers the main central area, which means you just play HBG skirmishes regular. Whereas in Grimplexus, the map's got fairly long lines of sight and whatnot. So that same circle size, I'm not sure if it's exactly the same, but it feels much more constricting.
Yeah.
As long as everyone's trying to play the I can see you from so far away, I'm going to try to poke you beyond, where my weapons are effective at.
Yep. Of
Oh my god, something's point blank. What am I going to do? Time to run away.
course. Granted,
So-
yeah, it's kind of funny just from talking to people who watch our stuff or talk to us or are usually in our Discord. I think we're one of the few groups who actually plays aggressively.
Yeah.
I think that's mostly because I just randomly go run out into combat and people are like, well, there he goes. Let's go follow him.
Well, sadly, you haven't been around lately, so it's been on other people's shoulders to just lead the rush.
Charging.
I mean, heck, like last night I had to go use assault mechs and give tonnage so I could die.
Well, that was the thing actually, because me and a few others who were playing assaults, it's like we have to do desperate rear guards against a huge amount of tonnage bearing down on us, and it's like a desperate last stance every single match. And I turned down a little bit, and it's like, okay, we need someone to take up tonnage. Larsh is like, oh, I'll do it, and then he's like, come on, guys, I've got so many people bearing down on me. I feel like I'm just a wall that's supposed to distract the enemy.
That's all it was. I was just a Fafnir, just like standing him in place, just on bog. I'm like, well, I guess this is my life now. I'm gonna die here.
Welcome to my world.
So Lemming posted a very good video about that exact same effect. About the door getting shut in the assault mech's face.
I'll have to go ahead and watch that.
Yeah, it's the staple gun one.
So next we got single heat sinks.
Yeah.
So
single heat sinks.
Yeah, part of the thing with these two changes, actually, just the heat sinks and ammo, they're buffing both of them in preparations for the World Championship thing. But obviously, this affects all mechs, and so if single heat sinks are getting buffed, this means all those single heat sink mechs we got are getting buffed because we all actually have single heat sink mechs.
I don't have one single. Wait, no, I lied.
Oh, come on, dude! You have to have.
My urban mech has single heat sinks, and that's about it.
Blasphemy,
really?
Yep.
That's
you don't have a supernova rocking like 50 of them?
I don't own a supernova.
A grasshopper?
I have a grasshopper. I barely use it.
Oh, Larsh, what are we gonna do with you?
I know.
Well,
what's the threshold for a double heatsink? It's like 1.4, right?
Yeah. So double heatsinks aren't actually true dubs. They have 1.4 heat they hold, I think, and they dissipate 0.14 per second.
So single heat sinks you put more inside your mech, so that's actually going to be a little bit better because you put more like inside your mech.
To be 0.12s or 1.2, and they're going up to 1.3s.
Yeah,
so they're effectively not singles. They're single at the 30%. Whereas doubles aren't doubles, they're actually singles, but 40% more.
Yeah, the doubles are only true doubles when they're in the engine. Otherwise, they're kind of like a 1.5 kind of heat sink theme.
Because like most of the time, I can't fit enough double heat sinks. This would be even better now. I'll just go down single heat sinks, and I'll take the hit a little bit, but I'll save on slots.
Well,
yeah,
that's actually the really finicky thing, because doubles in the engine, the first 10 you have in the engine are true doubles. They have a heat capacity of 2, and they get rid of 0.2 heat per second. That's how you actually, when you upgrade to doubles, that is the biggest increase in capacity and heat dissipation. It's why it's so valuable. Whereas singles are still actually, I think at least they used to be, and I think they probably still are, weaker than external singles. Like
That's
they're
so
almost
wonky.
true.
I think they're even now.
Oh, well, that's good.
But there's no actual bonus for them being in the engine anymore, so they're better as crit padding.
I haven't seen them explain this very often, at least the PGI guys, and I haven't done much in the ways of experiments, because that's at least the most important thing with this single heat sink change to me is how does this change internal sinks? Because sure, the external ones are better, but I'm starting, as always, it's like I'm starting, the first 10 heat sinks in the engine are half as good as the first 10 in double heat sinks. So you're still not actually that much better if you're trying to go with singles, unless you got a lot of them, which was always the case.
Yeah, critical mass.
The critical thing in my mind, at least, and the reason why I really wish they clarified this, is stock builds don't necessarily take that many externals.
No.
Or at least they usually only go up to the initial 10. In any case, at least it's really important to know how good those first 10 heat sinks are for the stock mechs, because if you're only changing external heat sinks, this might not actually even affect stock mechs that very much at all.
Well, we'll have to see when once it comes out, though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, for example, the Kintaro, a whole bunch of SRMs and LRMs, everything, all of its tonnage put into missile weapons, if I'm not mistaken. There's like just 10 single heat sinks to keep it cool.
Yeah.
And all of those are in the engine, if I'm not mistaken. But this
I think
buff
there's
might
one
not
in
affect
each
it at
leg.
all. Yeah, okay. So its leg heat sinks might get mildly buffed.
Ooh.
Yay.
Jeez.
Yeah,
So-
it'll be entertaining to see how this all pans out.
You know, I'll test
Yeah.
out later on. You know, once it comes out and test it, and to go, oh wow, I can have 20 heat sinks instead of only 12 or you know, something like that.
Yeah, so
But
I
you
would
have
say,
to do-
yeah. So I would say to our viewers, come Tuesday, don't go into a match without testing first. Go into testing grounds, test them out, try it out, see how it goes to your liking, and then tweak it if you need to.
Single heatsink megs can be quite a bit of fun in and of themselves, but they're usually quite gimmicky. But if they're getting buffed up, I'm happy because that means my 8 medium laser grasshopper can keep alphaing even more with all its medium lasers and continue ignoring ghost heat even more than before, which is great.
Very true. Very true. I think I got plenty of mechs with only standard, so it'd be even better.
And for a new player experience, at least you don't. It's not as painful to start with, hopefully.
So next we got ballistics and ammo changes.
Well, ammo changes basically.
Yeah, for cannon
Ammo
and missile.
Interesting.
All the weapons that have ammo are getting an increase of roughly about 15% or so. It's different for these
Lies.
stuff.
There's no AMS. Lies.
I wait until the exceptions, which are all the Gauss weapons, all the MG weapons, and yes, all the AMS.
AMS.
Oh.
Man, an anti-danger fish was gonna need extra ammo. for people to
Anti-danger
already-
fish.
Hey, you leave quad AMS danger fish alone.
I still need to buy that thing, you know that?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, in fact, I gotta get one of those too. That'd be
Yeah,
fun
since
to
you're
use.
out for, since they're now out for Seagulls, right? Are they not?
No,
for Seagulls?
MC.
No.
Damn it, MC. Never mind.
Next
Oh,
month,
keyboard.
see those.
I'll keep
You
waiting.
Yeah, next
two
month.
really need to do more podcasts so you keep in the loop.
Yeah. Hey, I've been busy, so.
Yeah, I've been busy too.
So yeah, as I say, all the weapons are getting buffs except for those exceptions. I don't mind Gauss sort of being left behind. The trade-off is always they ignore the whole heat balance mechanics of the game, but they should be really tonnage intensive.
Mhm.
So them having inefficient ammo has always been true, but it's never been that much of a problem, and they don't need any help. Machine guns, light machine guns, they're already pretty decent if you got like a clan mech, so I don't think they need more ammo. The clear difference though is like heavy machine guns have always been in huge need of some kind of buff. And
Yeah.
ammo is one of the big ones because its ammo is terrible in
Yeah,
terms of damage per ton.
I really wish they would have included the heavy machine gun.
Yeah, the heavy machine gun kind of needs just something to make it a little bit different or better. Because as it stands, it's kind of just like, eh.
Well, they
It's
did do the
barely
narc.
viable right now.
The
Yep,
narc.
Narc is it drew the shortest straw for some reason, and that's something I was bringing. I'm a little peeved at this. Everyone's getting a lot are getting 17% extra ammo. Like the Rax, who already had really good ammo types, are getting 17% more ammo. The Narc, if you added 2 Narcs, would get 18% more ammo. Oh no, not a 2 more Narcs per ton. But no, they're already adding 1 Narc per ton, which is only 8%. So it's got the really the short stick because for some reason, if I got an extra 2 more Narcs, it would just break the game and people take Narcs all over the place. It's
And
already
they're
it's already
giving-
too popular. It's too
Like,
powerful.
It's
It also doesn't get any on the half ton. Which
Yeah,
is
it's
the
a
silly
0
part.
change
Yep.
in the half ton.
Yep.
At least do 1 for the half ton, 2 for the ton. Get it
Yeah,
over with, right?
that's some bullshit.
It's too powerful, man. You guys got to understand that Lerms are the best weapon in the whole game.
Byter is single-handedly proving the power of the narc.
Yes.
Somehow, yeah, exactly. I play the Vindicator 1R, so obviously that thing gets nerfed into the ground and put into a really high division. I use a lot of Narcs and no one else does, so Narcs don't get all the extra ammo for some reason. But, Racks, oh yeah, give them a whole bunch of extra ammo. MRMs, yeah, they're fine. Give them 13% more ammo. Narcs, though, oh dear.
Byter, see, that's because the techs at PGI, they are exclusively only using your numbers in game. So
Oh Christ!
everyone else does not matter. They only view today and see, what is Byter using today? Oh, we need to nerf that post haste.
Well, the funny thing is they do actually mention some stuff along the lines of this. You know, when they're talking about weapons balance, they were saying stuff along the lines of, "Oh, you know, this particular weapon system will do really well in someone's hands, but really badly on someone else's hands, and so therefore it's more a matter of the average."
Yeah.
But I do wonder, at least, if the average is, you know, me and 9 other people who use NARC, and I do really well with NARC, is it really a good stats to therefore, you know, give the shaft to NARCs because we know one good player is so good with them?
Because I am horrible with NARC aiming. I could use 5 more shots per ton.
I mean, this actually would go straight into what I would say is the thing in my mind with NARCs is you bring enough ammo and you just kind of spam it out there whilst you're doing your regular shooting.
Yep.
You know, it's an extra action. It's a free action. Just throw a random UAV at the enemy kind of thing.
And people freak out when they get narked too. They,
I hate it.
Do something different.
The reason people don't invest all the tonnage into it, though, is exactly what Larsh is talking about. The ammo is kind of limited, and it feels really bad when you miss because I only have like 18 shots. You know, I have to make this count. I spent 4.5 tons on it. If they gave NARC more ammo, people would feel a lot happier just chucking NARCs away at the end.
I would use it all the time. Now, also considering, what is the C-bill bonus you get for narking?
You get 10k C-bills every time someone who has a NARC attached to them dies by a missile weapon.
Dies. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, so it doesn't exist.
That
Yeah,
sucks.
they don't reward good NARC play, and for some reason they're giving NARC the shaft in terms of ammo, when really the one thing to give NARC a bit more prevalence in the player base, because it isn't an often played weapon, is just give it plenty of ammo. People feel happier to chuck out, you know, NARCs at people.
Well, here's another silly mechanic that narcs have. If you narc someone from the front of their mech, so it's somewhere on the front surface, and they're getting LRM'd from the front, you have a very good chance of your narc actually getting destroyed by friendly LRMs. Because it creates a small hitbox. You can actually shoot it off your friendly mech if you want to.
I feel like we need to test this.
I think that needs
To
to
the
be
testing grounds.
Yeah,
Because
like
at least
later
I
on,
will-
yeah.
With LERM teams, you know, I narc a guy, and then we've got, you know, 2 LERM assaults and a couple LERM mediums, all unleashing on the guy, and he's dead before the narc is destroyed.
So, yeah,
And I get the narc kill.
so back to Aetha. So whenever you shoot a narc, is like, do you physically see a narc module on the mech?
As of like December of last year, they still had that in the game where it would add a little extra hitbox to the front of the mech.
True, but I'm saying
wherever
though,
wherever the narc had landed, it would add a little extra hitbox that you could shoot off.
But can you see anything? Because
Yeah,
at what
can you
point
see
is
it?
there in a hitbox if you can't
Yeah.
see it?
I believe so. The last time I tried hunting for one, I found one. So
we're gonna need to go into some testing grounds for this.
We'll test it though. Like we'll
Yeah,
test
we're
it.
gonna test this. Yeah.
Let's not focus too much on the narc because it's just a niche weapon that I use that they're shafting for some
No,
reason.
it is the best meta tryhard weapon in the game, Byter. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Because guaranteed after this podcast, I am going to make a narc boat for the lulz of it. Just chain fire my
I'm
narcs.
checking right now.
Arctic Wolf.
Okay.
Ooh.
The Arctic Wolf battle mech has narc quirks. A lot of people don't realize that.
Well, that's interesting.
We just
The Arctic
Larsh's
Wolf.
mind.
Anyway, moving on though, we have some
Um,
mech quirks. If you want to
well,
start going into
There's a
that.
few points just quickly to go
Yeah,
over
sure.
with the ammo changes.
Yeah.
LRMs are getting 33% more ammo, so 180
Yes.
to 240 rounds.
That's a lot.
Again, just at least Rack's already had really good ammo. Like the Rack 2 weighs the same as the AC5. It has 80% more damage per ton. You know, instead of 100 damage, you know, in that ton, you've got 180, relatively speaking, you know? And both are getting a 17% more damage, which is crazy. Like, you know, one weapon needed help a lot more than others. I don't know why PGI is helping, you know, weapons like this. It seems so lazy. I don't understand, you know, what thought went into this, if any.
It's
Especially the LRM one.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry,
Yes, Bob?
I tested it just now. It doesn't work,
Oh, okay.
and you can't see it. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
Okay.
that's sad.
So they
But-
scrubbed the anti-narc deck. That's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
much.
good. Okay, so there are weapons that really needed help that didn't that got help, but the ones that didn't need help did as well. LRMs, yeah, I don't know why they gave such a buff to it, though.
Yeah.
At least these changes are done in mind with the competitive play, World Championships. LRMs are going to be used by a lot of stock builds, and this change will make them a lot more viable. They won't run out of ammo after 5 volleys. The
And
biggest.
she was on 1 ton.
Yeah, a very big change, at least to remember with this, is that it's just the baseline ammo values. So all of this will be increased by the skill nodes. And I'm not sure if the skill nodes are percentage based or were percentage based off the old ammo amounts. Like SRMs give you, every skill node gives you 10 more SRMs, right? So 110, 100 goes to 110, 120. But now we're starting at 120. So does the skill node get you up to 130, or does it get you up to, what was it, 131 or whatever?
Probably just 100. I would assume 130. Just assuming.
Yeah,
that.
It'll be interesting to see, because at least the thing is, LRMs are starting at 240. If it's 10% on top of 240, that means you're bringing out a lot more ammo.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of gross. The Lerm, I don't think needed a buff on the ammo. Considering that last patch we just had, I kind of wish they would have given a tad bit more to ATMs though.
Maybe. It is also 17% more ammo, and ATMs I think are doing fairly well.
Yeah.
In and of themselves. So I don't actually have too much troubles with the just the sheer damage that ATMs can sort of do, and the less because you're chucking less of them out, it doesn't necessarily consume the ammo so effectively.
The extra ammo just makes it feel better when you're firing them at super long range.
Yep. In any case, at least this is going to affect a whole bunch weapon balance across the board, because your smaller mechs, like your light mechs in particular, might want to throw in ammo-dependent weapons now, at least more so than before. Also, if you're throwing in a whole bunch of LRM, Streak or whatever, AC2s, AC5s, those had really terrible ammo, and you had to throw in a lot to be able to last the whole match. Now, that a lot of ammo will actually last the match.
Hey, my onion will actually have enough ammo now.
Yeah. So it's not just the little guys, but the big guys as well. This could change a whole bunch of how I have to build my mechs. Like my Streak Clops, for example, I think I put, 8-9 tons or whatever in it. Because
you're at least 3 tons heavier than me on ammo, and I think I'm running 6, so...
Yeah. I make sure I don't run out, because sometimes I have those 2K games and I run out of ammo, and people whine at me because I shut down in the corners. Like, I can't do anything else. Puts head against the wall.
Too good.
All right. Moving on quickly, since we've been going for a fair bit of time.
Yep.
They've been little changes to clan mechs: the Adder, Stormcrow, and Timmy.
This is a longer overdue thing for the Timberwolf, though.
Yeah. So the Adder is getting some miscellaneous side torso structure bonuses onto the pods themselves instead of on the generic mech. The Stormcrow is getting a torso buff for the side torsos as well. And then the Timberwolf, they're rolling some of the negative quirks into the baseline stats. And then they're readjusting some of its actual quirk values and sets of 8 bonuses individually across the board, it looks like.
Yeah, and there's a lot to roll over, but I think we could talk on forever if we went into every single one. But I think Aetha pretty much summed it up pretty well on the Timby, is that all those negative quirks are being, quote, removed, but they're still gonna kind of be there, because now they're gonna just be pre-cooked into the stats of the mech.
On the plus side, though, it looks like they're actually giving it fairly decent mobility quirks on most of the torsos. Where it used to have negative mobility quirks and torso yaw and that kind of stuff. They're actually giving it positive now, so maybe that'll help.
Maybe. Yeah,
well, this is good because it's an iconic mech of BattleTech. So and over the past year, as soon as they put in the negative quirks, I've not seen many Timberwolves out there being played because of that.
I see a fair number of Timmys, usually every SU match for every match, because it is that iconic mech. A lot of people really like taking it out, and for those old people from the tabletop who really like the look of the mech, I think a lot of them like also the fact it's it's quite a nice LRM boat, and they sit back, and that's how they get their relatively effective damage. But it always meant at least you didn't see the Timmy very much because it was a LRM boat, and it's either hiding so you don't see it, or it's in front of you and you kill it. When I initially, I think they've added in the patch notes the actual number changes, because people probably were asking like, okay, so you're taking away the negative quirks but rolling it into the base stats. So is this an improvement, or are you just making us feel better? And it looks like a bit of an improvement, but there's still some debuffs remain.
Yeah. So overall, it looks like the net gain is positive across the board, but there are some just like random negative things that got added to the base mechs thingamajigs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll actually be interesting to see how it actually pans out.
I might actually bring mine out then.
Same.
In Karita colors.
It'll take a while to. I don't think like all of these little changes weren't actually that big of a change to how effective the mech played in my mind, honestly. And I wasn't always a fan of the Timmy in the first place. But anyway, I'm glad the Adder and the Stormcrow are getting a little bit of survival stuff. We don't exactly see much of them. The Adder, in particular, sort of, at least compared to the ECM with the Cougar and whatnot, why necessarily take an Adder other than the quirkage? Just slightly better quirks.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The one thing, at least, I think they said, oh, the Timberwolf is one of the only mechs with negative quirks, and everyone's saying, hey, what about those dire whales with the negative armor on their heads?
That's a conversation for the energy hardpoint.
Yes, but it's just funny that people have quote unquote, they've forgotten. Oh, everyone, yeah, we know the Timmy's the only one with negative quirks. No, it's not.
It's because Direwell doesn't get played a whole lot.
Yeah, I don't see many direwalls anymore. I mostly see just Madcat Mark 2s.
Yep.
The only Direwells I see are always like LBX2 spams.
Yep. All right, so moving on.
Yeah, random bug fixes and improvements. Tons of these.
A big one, at least to mention, is Solaris will be included in possible events in future after this patch. Before they couldn't do any Solaris themed events. So if it's like do 500 damage in Division 7, they couldn't do that. So in future, they could poke people towards doing Solaris mode and reminding us it exists.
Hey, that will bring me back, because
so now we'll now have three different game modes to farm loot bags on.
Oh yeah, faction warfare. Yeah, never mind.
My biggest gripe will be just at least that 3-minute timer will be painful to sit through.
And actually, he brought it down.
He
brought it down in 2 minutes now.
Yeah,
2 minutes now. Yeah, Paul. Right. Paul did a couple of Twitter posts about that. Brought it down to 2.
Well, moving in the right direction at least.
Yeah, true. So we got bolt-ons, bolt-on support, and for a lot of different mechs actually, which is good because I would have thought they actually would have had this for every single mech, but now at launch, that would people want to go purchase all these different bolt-ons, and so this is good. This is good.
They've been rolling out a certain number per month, but this is a really long list.
Yeah,
worth mentioning.
I wonder if they just like, okay, let's do the rest of them now.
Yep.
Propane tank on my Uzil.
Ooh, they now have it for the Osiris. I'm happy.
Weapon 3060 refits as well for a whole bunch of mechs. Is there any going to be missing after this point? I'm not sure.
Let's take a look here. Assassin Balance.
They did do a lot so far.
Yeah, they have done quite a few already.
In previous months, by the way, at least we've had only just like 2 mechs, with the refits. It's just like, oh hey, the Atlas now has a refit, and it's like, oh, okay, just one more mech.
I think
they've done a whole bunch again.
I think the Phoenix Hawk will still be out.
Your favorite mech.
Yep. Yeah,
because Phoenix stock yet. Darn.
Yeah, because I've loaded Rack 2s on mine, and yeah, it's not going to have a Rack 2 on it yet.
Yep. Other geometry changes include the blood asp.
Mm-hmm.
People have been talking about the we mentioned this before in previous casts. At least the shoulder cannons were sort of set into the actual shoulders, and the promotional art was, you know, they were much more pronounced and gunny, and they're bringing it up to line with what the art was like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's all right. You know, people whenever they pre-order these mechs, they want the one that was designed. So I can appreciate them changing it to back to the design. You know, giving it those protruding, you know, top mounts. You know, it's all right.
Wasn't that something that they changed because people were complaining about
They were?
beforehand?
I didn't notice
Yeah, people
that.
were complaining when there was the countdown, you know, and they showed the preview stuff. People saying, "Hey, that doesn't look like the art. It looks totally different." And that's at least why they said, "Okay, yeah, wait, we understand. Yeah, we'll start trying to bring it more in line with the art."
They did an emergency redesign on it like right before it launched,
Mm-hmm.
and it still failed, kinda.
Yeah, I mean, from a consumer standpoint, you do want to have the final product be very much in line with your promotional art and bring it more in line with that. A month afterwards is, I guess, beneficial, but then again, I don't mind either way. I sort of prefer the look of the retrofitted cannons. Then again, the older cannons were slightly more meta and less. They make your side torsos less easy to just blow off because it's just sort of set near the shoulders.
Yeah. So that's right. It is what it is.
Looks like a lot of art fixes too to Solar City.
Oh wow! Yeah, look here.
So
the Zeus has.
I'd like to bring the attention to dot 2 on art fixes.
No.
Fixed issue where the Orion 2C had a gap in its arm. I wonder if they fixed the duct tape yet.
That's been a thing for so long.
Oh God.
That's been a joke since the first derp day, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's been a long time.
Damn.
Maybe
His
it'll
head.
still bounce.
And then, of course, you have plenty of fixes on Solar City. So, I guess all those issues where people were getting stuck in buildings or stuck outside, you know, on a grid square, those are hopefully now fixed come Tuesday, since there are going to be plenty of changes.
Not bad. It's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're really cranking out a lot of bits and pieces here and there. It makes me wonder, at least with the ammo changes, if they are just throwing that out the door very quickly and haven't actually sat down and figured anything out, because they are doing so many art changes and they're trying to incorporate the biggest thing for me is at least the profile saving and sharing.
Yeah, for me,
that's what I took out. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I mean, that's actually the end of the patch notes right there. But I think the biggest one is going to be, yes, being able to save and share your loadouts, which is a good thing, you know? Happy to see that.
We'll have an extra thing to link into YouTube videos now.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, put it down in the description down below. Like, you want to build, click on the thingy. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that idea.
All right, cracking on there, we the patch is also going to release with the Flea.
Dun dun dun, Flea.
Dun, dun, dun. It's gonna be smaller than that freaking piranha. That's gonna be interesting to see. Oh my God, that thing's so small now.
It's gonna be a little shorter than the Locust, and it looks like a little thinner than the Locust as well.
Now this is the thing, we see a size comparison, but they've done this with the first-person guy on the ground view, which means you're looking up at the mech, which gives us a little issues with perspective. The thing with the Locust is it's got this long protruding nose that doesn't make the mech higher, but from this angle makes it look taller.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it actually looks like.
Yeah, I think it is a little shorter than the Locust. My contention will be, at least with people saying it's the height thing, is more just the Locust has this kind of thin little split out pancake shape, and that makes it kind of tricksy to track, whereas the Flea, it's a blob shape. Now, is that little, that little box harder to hit or easier to hit than the little pancake? That will be just something we'll have to see as it comes out. But yeah, the Flea and the Locust both have much better shapes than the Piranha.
Yeah, the Piranha's a giant barn door.
He has the proud chest going on.
Yep.
At least he's properly displaying his weaponry.
It's just all the protein's been doing.
And I got the quirks too, which is interesting. I was going through this last night during my stream, and it seems like the one with the 1.5, yeah, 1.5 has a bunch of has 2 ballistics, but gives the inner machine gun rate of fire plus 20%. But then the one with 8 ballistics doesn't have any inner sphere, machine gun like quirks or anything else. You would think they actually would have it like inside that.
Well, again, this is how PGI tends to do the weapon quirks. Is they assign the lesser weapon system the better quirks.
Yeah,
because you have fewer mounts. So they know you're only going to ever mount machine guns on this thing. So if you have 2 ballistics, buff 2 machine guns, I guess.
I would never mount 8 machine guns on a Flea with 8 ballistic slots. Never. That will never come to mind.
8 light machine guns? Yes. Check.
Check.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
And a single flamer. Oh, look, it's the IS Piranha.
Yep.
Overall, though, yeah, it's a fairly bog standard kind of set of quirks out at the door. It is worth mentioning at least the Flea 15, the one that you can get the special variant of. That has mask, but it also has only all of the quirks are armor, whereas the others have like the structure stuff. The torsos are structure. So the 15 is slightly tankier. Otherwise, though, yeah, these are very minor, little tiny weapon buffs, if indeed the mech even gets any tiny weapon buffs. Because there's like the Flea 17, no buffs on that whatsoever. Overall, at least stuff like 10% missile spread is not really that noteworthy, at least when you only have 1 missile hardpoint.
On a light mech, nah.
The biggest one in my mind, at least in terms of mild weapon quirks, is the 5% range, because that universally applies to any 5 energy weapons you put into the Flea 20. And that one has mask and ECM, so you can have slightly longer range 5 small lasers. Ooh.
All right. Ooh, and the 20 comes with a stealth armor type standard.
Yeah.
I did notice that until now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one is behind the reinforcement pack, and I'm a little annoyed because, as I said before, that one's the most interesting with ECM and mask for the squirreling that this mech is going to be kind of what it's best at.
Mm-hmm.
And the 5% range is going to help you with scratching people with a couple medium lasers at range, again helping with squirreling. So this one, clearly pay to win through and through.
Well, I don't know if it's pay to win so much as it is pay to annoy.
Pay to annoy, superior annoyance, yes.
Because I'm probably going to have a lot of fun in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Me too. Plus, it's inner sphere, so it's even better.
Of course, with the Flea coming out, expect a whole bunch of heavy goose, and streaks. So the Flea's not going to have a good time the first couple of weeks. Maybe wait until it's died down. Enough Fleas have been sacrificed to the blood gods before you can actually...
Shit show until you get them all skilled up.
Yeah, and expect if you're ever taking a mech out onto the field, indeed, because there's a whole bunch of Fleas on your team, you're going to have little lights scampering around you. You need to be able to fend off little guys, which means probably you should take Streak or Gorse to be a strong, independent mech that don't care about no Fleas.
Like a dog.
So good.
Dog
so I'm looking forward to Tuesday.
Same here.
Flea.
Same here.
I might have to call it off work.
just for the Flea. Do it.
What, to kill Fleas or to be a Flea?
Oh, kill them.
Oh?
Kill
yeah.
Fleas.
Then again, when it's coming to again, we're talking Eighth mech here. I mean, you enjoy doing both because this is like your main mech to annoy people with.
Oh yeah, stupid shenanigans with mask. Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, look what I did to Phoenix Hawk for a little while. Bouncing off the the hit registration windows that the game has.
Mm. All right, so we have a few little bits and pieces to end off with. 2 events. Well, actually, there's a couple more. The MechFest event phase 2 is just about, well, I think is already rounded out. I like the change that they did. Instead of having to do 3 light mechs, 3 mediums, or 2 heavies, whatever, every single mech you do individually. So if you happen to own a spider, you do the 500 damage and you get your little 50 MC, and you don't need to happen to also own an urban mech.
Yeah.
And a javelin. So that's a way better change. I'm very glad they've done that, and hopefully they'll do that in all the future phases going forward.
Definitely agree with that one. I've been having fun with it. I did last night, like on a stream, and it was just fun to go do. And I played as Zeus, and that was exciting. I play mechs I don't normally play, and so this is kind of just like something different, and that's a good thing. Although a lot of people, like newer players, don't have the Zeus and all these different other things, and so I'm kind of upset about that because they don't include the new player base coming into the game. But still, it was a lot of fun though.
If you're a new player, there are at least the mechs that are currently, part of the event. Some of them are on sale, and those are the ones that are actually you could take into competitive. But sadly, only the ones you can take into competitive. So they'll be doing phase 3 and Mark 1, phase 3 and 2. But there's another one, Dad Warrior online event. This one wasn't posted on the front page, I don't.
No, I just tried to find it. I couldn't find it, but thankfully that was a quick and easy challenge. I hopped on for all of 2.5 hours last night and completed all of it.
It's get 10 kill assists in a light mech, get 10 kill assists in a medium, 10 kill assists heavy, etc. And each of those are separate challenges, so you don't need all the weight categories. And each of them give a little Twinkie.
Yep.
Oh, I do enjoy the typo on the medium mech one.
Yes. On the medium mech one, it says as well, get 10 kill assists in a light mech.
Oh,
that's still fixed.
Well, all right.
OPGI.
What are you gonna do?
Shows how much they care about. Was it for Father's Day?
Yep.
Woo!
Oh yeah, that's right. You Brits don't have Father's Day, do you?
You have no fathers.
Look, I am not your father.
Spoilers. All right, and then I guess the last thing we had was the Harmony Gold stuff. So it's still hopefully over.
No, it's never be over. These guys are like cancer. They're like cancer, man.
Well, don't worry. I think they're losing their license of anything Macross come, I believe, 2022. So we just gotta hold out a little bit longer, and then
I thought it had actually been rolled back to 2020.
Yeah, I thought it was 2020 as well.
Okay.
I think that the last lawsuit they had with the Japanese, it got rolled back to 2020.
Oh, well then, if it's 2020, then that's even better, because then we can finally breathe easy. We can finally bring over Macross 7 and Frontier and all the things that I've been just I could just weeb on forever on, but we're not here for that.
Well, at least this time, basically, companies won't be like extorted to give them money because they quote own the rights end quote of Macross and Macross looking mechs.
That's what
so
pisses
that's a good
me
thing.
off. Yeah, because I can't buy any merch at a con. I can't buy any Blu-rays or DVDs of any of the movies or series that were after the first one here in the States. I have to find other ways to get them.
Hold on. You can't buy merchandise of like Macross Frontier or anything?
Because Harmony Gold hasn't released any.
Yeah, because Harmony Gold still says that, the mech designs are them. So, for example, I go to Techo, right? It's very hard for me to find any merch that is a Macross Frontier Valkyrie, or or any of the mech designs that are Macross licensed. Instead, you will find a butt ton of Harmony Gold mech merchandise at the con. I was surprised that I did get a model kit that was not, Robotech. It was actually Macross, and I plan on building it. But yeah, I was like, oh wow, it's an actual legit Macross model kit. But yeah, but it's still a pain.
Can't you actually get it from companies that ship stuff overseas, like
Oh yeah,
to the
no.
US or anything?
I mean, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I can. It's just that
Okay.
but to get a store here locally, and to get anything is real. It's just it sucks.
I was just concerned that they actually had like goons at the docks and say, no, put that container back on the ship. It's not coming inside here. I
wouldn't put it past them.
But that's cool. Like, yeah, and basically what happened was the details were Piranha Games pretty much paid off or got extorted by Harmony Gold, and so they paid them off. They can't put any mechs per se of the unseen mechs, but Piranha Games said, hey, you can't sue us for anything of the game for Mechwarrior 5, because obviously, since it's in 3025, has a lot of the unseen mechs like the Shadowhawk and all that kind of stuff that were like in there. So they're able to actually have a full game of Mechwarrior 5 without Harmony Gold coming in and extorting money from them.
Ugh.
Yeah, so what they've officially done is the current unseen mechs they have already released are fine and cleared, but they're not allowed to do any of the other ones.
I mean, they can still do the 2C mechs. Basically, those were actually done afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Griffin, Griffin 2C, the Warhammer 2C, the Marauder 2C, all those were done afterwards, and so they could actually put those out. But nothing of like the older mechs, that were unquote unseen. That's interesting. Oh, shit, little bastards. Anyways.
Yeah, so pretty much. Yeah.
Yep, they've settled it rather than drawing the court case out and finding out that it's all a bunch of nonsense or whatever that it actually turns out to be. But yeah, it's been they've settled at court. Well, we got mostly our main source is Sana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the guy covering it is not a legal expert. The legal expert is on vacation right now. So there's only it's mostly speculation. But Harmony Gold is not going to come after them for Mechwarrior Online, I think, or Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries. So they're really clear for a bit. Yes, the unseen mechs might be affected or whatnot, and it's a shame sort of paying off the mafia, the gangsters, the rules lawyers. But sometimes you have to pay for the convenience, honestly.
Yeah, true.
The joys of dealing with Japanese copyright laws and American copyright laws.
It's a whole debacle going back to the 1980s, and it's still lingering to this day.
Well, the joys of having to market and copyright your television, your toy products, and all that kind of stuff individually in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, heaven forbid if actually the U.S. made some cool things, huh? Made some cool cartoons. Heaven forbid that one.
We haven't made good cartoons since the 80s.
If the case has been settled or whatnot, it would be nice to hear from PGI or whatnot officially about this, so that they can tell the community about what's going on rather than us speculating.
That would be nice, yeah.
Well, ding dong, the witch is dead. The witch is dead, and have a party and all that kind of stuff. I hope they do that.
It's not dead yet. It's not until Harmony Gold is just out of business in 2 years.
Yeah, I know. Get out of here, you can't.
I really don't like them at all.
I'm very happy they actually brought out Macross, right? And like with speed and all that kind of stuff. I'm happy they did that at the time, and then actually going more into why all these different things happened, what Harmony Gold did. I was like, now just I hate those guys.
Yeah. That was what happened to me too, because I discovered Robotech when I was in like middle school, and I didn't know any of this, like any of the background stuff until I got into college, and I was like, well, son of a bitch, there's a whole bunch more out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think at least obviously from our perspective, we wish they could just let it go.
Yeah. It'd be no. No. Oh man.
Okay, so I think that's it for the podcast, right? Do you have anything else?
I think so. So this is our first Circuit podcast, episode 43. Thank you for coming, y'all. This was myself as Larsh, Mech, Byter, Old Bob 10025. Yay! Of course, you can find any descriptions of our channels down below in the description, and we will see you all next week.
See you guys in Battlefield. Bye.
Wah, wah, wah.